세상 사람들 잘 모르잖아요. BTS는 너무나도 잘하는데 BTS, J-hope이 어떤 식으로 음악을 만들어가고.
Let's sing it together.
Behind every verse is a version of him the world never got to see. This is J-hope. Before J-hope, there was Smile Hoya. Bright, energetic, restless. He found early passion not just in rhythm, but in expression, his way of making sense of the world. His love for dance went far beyond a hobby, it became a calling for greatness. He joined Neuron, one of Gwangju's local dance crews, and quickly became known for his popping skills. During this era, he went by the name Smile Hoya, embodying both his joy and drive. That same Neuron energy got him noticed. Hoseok participated in competitions held by JYP, nearly became a trainee there, but ultimately found his path through big hit entertainment. He was raw talent, heart, and hunger, and so began a new chapter, one that would demand even more. He left Gwangju for Seoul, and with that, he started carrying the weight of becoming someone worthy of the stage. But skill alone wasn't enough. At Big Hit, he had to rebuild from the ground up. Vocal lessons, rap training, performance drills. But what came next was more than adapting. In the early BTS days, Hoseok was still learning to be J-hope. He stood beside rap giants like RM and Suga. Hoseok knew he had to prove himself, not just as a dancer, but as a lyricist, performer, and artist. He poured himself into growth, obsessing over detail. You could hear it in his early solo, one verse. A fiery rap release that didn't make the albums but made a statement. You could feel it in Mama. A love letter to his mother disguised as a gospel rap anthem. Even in BTS's sprawling discography, J-hope's solos stood out for their precision and positivity. In Outro Ego, a confessional anthem about growing into himself, each track pulls back the curtain. The choreography flows with intent, echoing the emotional tone of the track, but the emotions underneath are what make it unforgettable. But when someone known for joy starts confronting the mask behind it, a deeper voice begins to rise, raw and honest. The 2nd of March, 2018, Hope World dropped. And with it, J-hope's unfiltered imagination. Bright, psychedelic, global, this marked a shift from being part of BTS to creating a vision that reflected only his voice and identity. From the retro bounce of Daydream to the airy melancholy of Blue Side, the mixtape proved he could carry a sonic universe on his back. Airplane took us back to Gwangju, to the boy who once stared at planes, dreaming of stage lights, and Equal Sign showed us his values, kindness, empathy. To him, love wasn't weakness, but power. Hope World debuted at number 63 on the Billboard 200, the highest charting solo debut from a BTS member at the time. A week later, it climbed to number 38. But beyond numbers, it marked a creative awakening. J-hope played a defining role in shaping BTS's sound, while also forging a creative path that reflected his own evolving artistry. Still, even sunshine has shadows, and when he returned for his next solo era, he didn't just evolve, he erupted. Jack in the Box defied fan expectations. Gritty, conflicted, explosive. Released under Hybe's sublabel Aider, the album felt like a purge of everything he'd kept buried. Tracks like More and Arson shift focus away from dance and dreams, confronting pressure, self-doubt, and rage head-on. Even the visuals told a story. Suitcases on fire, sterile hallways, burning rooms. J-Hope was no longer running from the darkness. He was walking straight through it. In Stop.
Stop, 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 stop.
He dissected the chaos of human nature. In What If?
What if I am the whole?
He questioned whether fame and talent would still matter without his stage name. It was a raw confrontation of ego and expectation. And yet, that vulnerability made it one of the most compelling BTS solo projects to date. But even in this shadowy era, there was a stage waiting. A moment that would mark another first, not just for him, but for all of K-pop. On the 31st of July, 2022, Lollapalooza, J-Hope became the first Korean artist to headline a major US music festival. Alone on a massive stage, without his members, he delivered a performance that stunned even longtime fans. He rearranged BTS tracks like Dynamite, performed Daydream and more, back-to-back with high energy. This was J-Hope unfiltered, not behind choreography or concept. Just an artist, commanding a crowd of thousands with pure performance. But even as he reached new heights, time doesn't pause. In 2023, just like his fellow BTS members, J-Hope stepped away from the stage to fulfill his military service, a chapter that marked a pause, but not an end. And so began his mandatory military service. For a while, the world got quieter. During his service, there were no new music drops or interviews. But that silence had its own kind of power. And when he was officially discharged on the 17th of October, 2024, the anticipation was immense. He returned not just to music, but to fans who had been waiting, growing, and healing alongside him. But what comes after quiet? For J-Hope, the answer was simple: reconnection. With music, with fans, with purpose. After his discharge, J-Hope eased back into public life. His first step was re-engaging with fans. Live streams, messages, and subtle hints at what was to come. But behind the scenes, he was already crafting his next move. The months following his return weren't rushed. Instead, he focused on aligning his message, refining his music, and reflecting on what he wanted to say next. Like he was piecing together a new version of himself, one informed by solitude, growth, and quiet resilience. In many ways, this was the calm before the storm. Then, on BTS's 12th anniversary, he dropped a track that the world wasn't prepared for. Released on the 13th of June, 2025, Killin It Girl was the final piece of his solo single project, Charm of Hope, a physical album. It arrived with impact, charting at number 40 on the Billboard Hot 100, third on the Billboard Global 200, and second on Billboard Global Exclude, US, which tracks global performance without American data. But beyond the numbers, the song was fire. The lyrics championed confidence and individuality, while the vibrant, futuristic visuals captivated audiences globally. The music video quickly went viral, amplified by a TikTok dance challenge that saw participation from fans, celebrities, and even fellow idols. It was a full-circle moment, joyful, experimental, and bold. Even as J-Hope builds his solo legacy, there's always a quiet gravity pulling back to the bond that started it all: BTS. The presence of BTS was always close by, in his lyrics, in his values, and in the gratitude he carried. He's been open about how deeply the group shaped him, and how their journey together still fuels his drive. There hasn't been an official group comeback announcement yet, but the hope is alive. That vision keeps fans waiting, not just for a reunion, but for the evolution of something they've loved all along. Legacy is not about records or viral moments. It's about what remains when the noise fades. And for J-Hope, what lingers is a quiet warmth, steady, familiar, and endlessly bright. Through every chapter, from Smile Hoya to solo stages, Jung Hoseok gave new meaning to the name J-Hope, not through some manufactured image, but as a reflection of his own unwavering spirit, to his fans, to his brothers, and to himself. J-Hope dared to be bold. Will you?